From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the Lunch Hour News Blast for October 21st, 2025. LGBTQ Nation is reporting, after decades of slow progress toward embracing the LGBTQ plus community, elders in the Mormon Church on Tuesday appointed Apostle Dallin H. Oaks, a former justice on the Utah Supreme Court and staunch opponent of marriage equality, to be its next president. Oh, this is going to be good. Oaks, age 93, succeeds Russell M. Nelson, whom he served as first counselor. Nelson died in September at age 101. Succession criteria among church leadership all but guaranteed the nonagenarian's ascension to the top post. So wait a minute, you people. Some of you on the right want to make sure that Supreme Court justices step down somewhere between the ages of 75 and 80, but you've got a 93-year-old running one of the largest churches in Utah. Got it. I accept with humility the responsibility that God has placed upon me, Oaks said in a brief remarks in Salt Lake City. In 1984, Oaks, a lawyer by training, authored a confidential memo on the interests at stake in the proposed legalization of so-called homosexual marriages, a document that guided the Church of Latter-day Saints' opposition to marriage equality for decades to come. Isn't this the same church that up until 1890 didn't have a problem with polygamy? Isn't it? And they still don't seem to have a problem with it, even though they outlawed it in their church. But it still goes on. I digress. Homosexual marriages would be a devilish perversion of the procreative purposes of God and the earth life he has granted his children, Oaks wrote. One generation of homosexual marriages would depopulate a nation, and if sufficiently widespread, would extinguish its people, he added. Our marriage laws should not abet national suicide. Okay, now wait a minute. As Ellen DeGeneres once said, and I'm paraphrasing here, if you straight people would just stop having gay kids, this wouldn't be a problem. Just saying. Oaks penned the memo the same year he joined the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, the church's second highest leadership body. The church spent millions in opposition to the marriage equality movement, including a successful effort to pass a ban on same-sex marriage in California in 2008. With all due respect, Dallin Oaks, shut up. Oaks has described homosexuality as an ephemeral affliction. The good news for somebody who is struggling with same-sex gender attraction is this. He said, it's that I'm not stuck with it forever. It's just now. Same-gender attraction did not exist in the pre-Earth life. Well, he would know, he's old enough. And neither will it exist in the next life, Oaks claimed in a 2006 church interview. So, to quote the Buddha, okay, you know as much about the afterlife as the chick knows about life outside the eggshell before it's hatched, okay? So just shut up. In 2022, however, religious freedom trumped opposition to marriage equality when both Oaks and the Mormon Church came out in support of the Respect for Marriage Act, the law codifying the recognition of same-sex marriages performed in any state by other states in the federal government. You know something? As I recall, the full faith and credit clause of the U.S. Constitution would do the same thing. Well, religious freedom protections in the bill drew the church's backing. We believe this approach is the way forward, the church said, as we work together to preserve the principles and practices of religious freedom together with the rights of LGBTQ individuals. Much can be accomplished to heal relationships and foster greater understanding. Yeah, it's not working so well in Utah, is it? At the same time, anti-LGBTQ plus opponents of the bill cited the threat of pedophilic marriage and polygamous marriages if it became law. But you already have polygamous marriages out in Utah. Polygamy or plural marriage was officially banned in the Mormon Church in 1890, but Lord knows it roams all over Utah. The practice still persists. Jeff Benyon, co-founder of the Gender Harmony Institute, a holistic conversion therapy practice in Utah that addresses gender-related distress, said Oaks's appointment inspired both joy and excitement and anxiety and frustration in the church. He described Oaks's tenure as a ministry of law and love. Oh, that's sweet. In fact, it's so sweet I think I'm getting nauseated just by reading this. Throughout his academic, professional, and religious pursuits, President Oaks has wrestled with the same paradox he invites us to confront: how to combine uncompromising truth with unconstrained love. In his many addresses on love and law, he insists that divine commandments and divine compassion are not enemies. You know, here's the thing. If you think it's love, and yet you're going after someone else's civil rights, that ain't love, sweetheart. We must be soft on people, he said once, but firm on principles. But here's the thing. In 1970, Oakes was tapped by the church to lead Brigham Young University, and in a speech in 2021, he denied that electroshock therapy treatments and vomit aversion were used at the school as a form of conversion therapy during his tenure. You know who else used conversion therapy? The Nazis. So I tell you what, Oakes, you're practically a Nazi. Shut the hell up. Because that's the News Blast for this hour. If you like our news videos on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. PEP Radio News is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. And I'm telling you, if this news story didn't get you angry, you're not awake yet. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.